Mat Armstrong and Tesla may come from completely different worlds, but that difference is exactly why people become so interested in seeing their names connected together. One side represents a self-taught builder who built his reputation through determination, trial and error, and years of learning inside a garage. The other side represents one of the most disruptive automotive companies in modern history, a company that challenged traditional thinking and pushed electric performance into territory many people once believed was impossible. Now those two worlds are being discussed together, and automotive fans everywhere are paying attention. For years, Mat Armstrong built his YouTube success by taking damaged vehicles that most people consider beyond saving and bringing them back to life step by step. Viewers watched him face setbacks, solve problems, make mistakes, and continue moving forward. That honesty became his biggest strength. People did not only watch for supercars. They watched because the process felt real. At the same time, Tesla built its own identity around challenging accepted ideas. Traditional manufacturers followed old systems, old expectations, and old ways of doing business. Tesla entered the market with a different vision. Electric vehicles became performance machines. Software updates became part of ownership. Technology became a selling point as important as horsepower. Both Mat Armstrong and Tesla earned attention by proving that established systems could be challenged. That similarity explains why people immediately became interested when reports suggested Tesla wanted Mat Armstrong involved with one of its biggest future products. The reported connection centered around the upcoming Tesla Roadster, a vehicle that has spent years generating excitement across the automotive industry. Tesla promised extraordinary numbers, incredible acceleration, massive range, hypercar performance at a price dramatically below many traditional exotic competitors. Meanwhile, Mat Armstrong had already become famous for taking impossible automotive projects and turning them into stories watched by millions. His Bugatti rebuild especially changed everything. A damaged hypercar that many believed could never return to the road slowly transformed into one of YouTube's largest automotive stories. Every challenge increased audience interest. Every setback created more suspense. Every repair generated bigger discussions. Viewers watched the garage builder face obstacles usually handled only by factory systems and manufacturer networks. That story represented determination. Tesla built its reputation around a similar idea. Challenge old expectations. Ignore traditional limits. Build something differently. Because of that overlap, many automotive fans believe a partnership between Mat Armstrong and Tesla would make sense strategically. Mat brings trust. Tesla brings innovation. Mat brings authenticity. Tesla brings technology. Together, those elements create something powerful for modern automotive audiences. Today, car companies do not only compete through engineering. They compete through attention. They compete through stories. They compete through relationships with enthusiasts. Mat Armstrong built one of the strongest enthusiast communities in automotive YouTube because viewers trust what they see. Tesla built one of the strongest modern automotive brands because people believe it pushes boundaries traditional companies hesitate to challenge. Whether a bigger collaboration happens or not, one thing has already become clear. Mat Armstrong and Tesla are now part of the same conversation, and that conversation represents something larger than one creator or one company. It represents changing automotive culture. It represents builders gaining influence. It represents enthusiasts demanding greater access. Most importantly, it represents a future where manufacturers and creators may work closer together than ever before. Mat Armstrong built his reputation by doing something many people thought was impossible. Long before millions of subscribers followed every upload, long before supercars filled his workshop, and long before his name started appearing beside companies like Tesla, he was simply someone who loved cars and refused to accept limits. His path into automotive content creation did not begin with giant investments or expensive equipment. It began with passion, mistakes, learning, and persistence. Those qualities slowly created one of the strongest automotive communities on YouTube. Tesla followed a very different journey, but the outcome created surprising similarities. Tesla entered an industry controlled by giants. Traditional manufacturers had decades of history, enormous factory networks, and established systems that seemed impossible to challenge. Tesla arrived with a different philosophy. Instead of improving existing ideas slowly, the company focused on changing expectations completely. Electric cars became faster. Software became central to ownership. Performance numbers started competing directly against machines built by brands that had dominated automotive prestige for generations. While Mat Armstrong challenged assumptions from inside a garage, Tesla challenged assumptions from massive production facilities. Both stories connected through disruption. Both stories connected through refusing to accept old rules. That connection explains why automotive fans became so interested when Tesla reportedly recognized Mat Armstrong's influence. His audience was not built through celebrity marketing. It was built through trust. Viewers watched projects unfold completely. Failures stayed inside videos. Problems remained visible. Expensive mistakes appeared openly on camera instead of disappearing during editing. That honesty created something increasingly valuable in modern content creation: credibility. When Mat Armstrong rebuilt damaged performance cars, audiences followed because they believed what they were watching. That relationship matters more today than ever before. Modern automotive companies no longer compete only through horsepower numbers or luxury materials. They compete for attention. They compete for trust. Tesla understands attention better than most companies. Over years, Tesla transformed product announcements into global events. New vehicle reveals generated enormous discussions. Technology demonstrations spread across social media instantly. Excitement became part of the brand itself. Mat Armstrong created a similar effect inside automotive YouTube. One rebuild project could generate millions of views. One difficult repair could become a major conversation across enthusiast communities. The Bugatti rebuild especially showed the scale of that influence. What started as an ambitious repair project slowly became something much larger. Viewers saw one independent creator facing enormous technical challenges connected to one of the most exclusive automotive brands in history. Discussions exploded everywhere. People debated repair restrictions, manufacturer control, ownership rights, automotive accessibility. The conversation expanded beyond one damaged hypercar. Tesla operates inside that same world of disruption. The company built success by challenging established systems. Mat Armstrong built success by challenging assumptions about who could work on extraordinary vehicles. Together, those ideas created powerful overlap. Automotive culture itself has changed dramatically over recent years. Manufacturers once controlled nearly every part of the conversation. Today, creators influence public opinion faster than traditional advertising campaigns. One respected creator can shape discussions across millions of viewers immediately. Tesla understands digital influence better than many competitors. Mat Armstrong understands audience trust better than many creators. That combination explains why people became fascinated by the possibility of greater collaboration. Whether discussing electric performance, modern technology, repair culture, or automotive passion itself, both Tesla and Mat Armstrong represent something increasingly important inside the automotive world: change. And change often creates the biggest stories people want to watch unfold. Everything became bigger when Mat Armstrong entered territory that very few independent automotive creators had ever touched before. He had already rebuilt damaged performance cars. He had already proven that patience, technical knowledge, and determination could turn vehicles people abandoned into machines worth saving again. But eventually a project arrived that completely changed the scale of his work and dramatically increased attention around his channel. At nearly the same time, Tesla was moving toward one of its own biggest automotive moments. Years of promises, development, engineering discussions, and anticipation surrounded the upcoming Roadster project. While Mat Armstrong pushed limits inside a workshop, Tesla prepared to push limits across the performance car industry itself. Those two stories moved separately at first, but automotive fans slowly started noticing similarities between them. Both represented disruption. Both challenged established thinking. Both attracted people who enjoyed seeing impossible goals pursued despite enormous obstacles. Mat Armstrong's audience had grown because people trusted the process. Viewers saw projects develop from damaged starting points into finished results through hundreds of difficult decisions. Expensive mistakes happened. Delays happened. Unexpected failures appeared constantly. But instead of hiding problems, Mat showed them. That honesty created loyalty. Millions followed because success felt earned rather than manufactured. Tesla built excitement differently, but the principles shared similarities. Tesla repeatedly challenged ideas traditional manufacturers treated as normal. Performance no longer belonged only to massive combustion engines. Software updates became central to ownership experiences. Electric vehicles started competing directly against companies that once dominated performance discussions completely. Tesla transformed expectations about what cars could become. Mat Armstrong transformed expectations about who could repair extraordinary vehicles. Then came the Bugatti rebuild. The project immediately felt different from previous builds. The challenge itself appeared enormous. Hypercars exist inside a different world. Costs rise dramatically. Complexity increases significantly. Parts availability becomes difficult. Manufacturer systems become stricter. Expectations become higher. Many people watching understood immediately that this project represented something unusual. It was not simply another rebuild. It represented entering one of automotive culture's most protected spaces. Every stage attracted massive attention. Every update created discussions. Millions watched progress develop slowly. Automotive communities debated whether such a rebuild should even happen outside official systems. Supporters admired determination. Critics questioned practicality. Interest kept growing. Tesla operates inside a world where public attention matters enormously. Few automotive companies understand modern digital influence better. One major online conversation can reach audiences traditional advertising struggles to touch. Mat Armstrong's Bugatti series demonstrated exactly that reality. Millions followed technical details, usually discussed only inside specialist circles. Suddenly, repair access, manufacturer control, and automotive ownership became mainstream discussion topics. The conversation expanded beyond one garage project. It became symbolic. Independent builders versus corporate systems. Accessibility versus exclusivity. Innovation versus tradition. Tesla built much of its identity around challenging traditional thinking. That overlap naturally attracted attention when reports suggested Tesla recognized Mat Armstrong's influence. The idea itself felt logical to many automotive enthusiasts. Tesla benefits from authentic storytelling. Mat Armstrong specializes in authentic storytelling. Tesla pushes technology boundaries. Mat Armstrong pushes repair boundaries. Modern automotive culture increasingly rewards transparency, personality, and genuine passion. Traditional advertising still matters, but audience trust matters more than ever. Mat Armstrong built audience trust slowly across years of consistent work. Tesla built excitement by convincing people the future could look different from the past. Those worlds now exist much closer together than ever before, and automotive enthusiasts everywhere continue watching carefully to see where that story leads next. The Bugatti project became a moment that changed everything around Mat Armstrong's career, and at the same time, it helped explain why so many automotive fans believed Tesla could see value in working with someone like him. Before this rebuild, Mat Armstrong was already one of YouTube's biggest automotive creators. Millions watched his videos. Millions followed his projects. But the Bugatti pushed his channel into another level entirely. It created a story larger than repairing a damaged vehicle. It created tension. It created debate. Most importantly, it created emotional investment from viewers who wanted to see whether determination could overcome barriers that normally existed only inside the world of elite manufacturers. The damaged Bugatti represented far more than expensive engineering. It represented exclusivity. Hypercar companies protect their image carefully. Their vehicles exist inside a system built around rarity. Specialized repair networks, factory approval processes, and carefully controlled ownership experiences. When Mat Armstrong decided to rebuild one of the world's most extreme performance machines, people immediately understood the scale of the challenge. This was no ordinary salvage project. The costs involved looked enormous. Technical problems appeared intimidating. Parts access became difficult. The level of precision required pushed far beyond normal automotive repairs. Yet that challenge became exactly what attracted viewers. People love watching difficult goals pursued seriously. Every obstacle increased attention. Every setback strengthened viewer investment. Every problem solved inside the workshop created another reason to return for the next upload. Tesla built attention differently over years, but one similarity connected both stories strongly. Tesla repeatedly proved people enjoy watching limits challenged. Traditional performance expectations changed dramatically because Tesla ignored assumptions competitors treated as permanent rules. Electric vehicles became performance machines. Technology became central to driving experiences. Software updates transformed ownership itself. Tesla succeeded partly because people enjoy disruption when disruption produces exciting results. Mat Armstrong created similar excitement inside automotive content. He challenged expectations about who could work on extraordinary vehicles. He challenged assumptions about repair limitations. He challenged ideas about what independent builders could accomplish without giant corporate support systems behind them. As the Bugatti rebuild gained momentum, discussions exploded everywhere. Some people believed manufacturers needed strict repair controls to protect quality and safety. Others believed owners deserved greater freedom. Arguments spread across enthusiast communities. Videos generated massive attention. The story moved beyond technical repairs and entered larger conversations about automotive culture itself. Tesla understands cultural conversations better than many companies. Modern automotive influence no longer belongs only to manufacturers. Creators matter. Communities matter. Audience trust matters. Mat Armstrong built trust carefully across years. He showed mistakes openly. He showed learning processes honestly. He allowed viewers to experience projects rather than simply watch finished results. That authenticity created loyalty companies spend enormous advertising budgets trying to build. The possibility of Tesla recognizing that influence felt important because it represented changing relationships between creators and manufacturers. Years ago, major automotive companies controlled nearly every major automotive story. Today, one respected creator with a loyal audience can influence discussions across millions of viewers worldwide. Tesla understands attention creates momentum. Momentum creates conversation. Conversation creates cultural relevance. Mat Armstrong already possesses cultural relevance inside automotive YouTube. That explains why discussions connecting him and Tesla gained attention so quickly. Whether future collaboration expands or not, something important has already changed. Automotive companies increasingly understand builders, creators, and enthusiast communities hold influence impossible to ignore. Mat Armstrong helped prove that reality. Tesla recognized it earlier than many competitors. Together, those trends continue shaping the future of automotive culture, and people across the industry continue watching closely to see what happens next. Tesla's name entered the conversation more seriously as Mat Armstrong's Bugatti project continued growing larger across YouTube. Millions of viewers followed updates closely. Every repair challenge created new discussions. Every technical obstacle increased interest. The rebuild had transformed from an automotive project into something that felt bigger than cars themselves. It represented persistence. It represented independent problem solving. It represented someone refusing to walk away from a challenge simply because experts said it could not be done. That story naturally connected with audiences, and companies across the automotive world understand something important about modern media. Attention matters. Trust matters. Authenticity matters. Mat Armstrong had built all three. Tesla built its own success understanding exactly how powerful those elements could become. Unlike many traditional manufacturers, Tesla never relied entirely on old automotive marketing systems. The company understood public excitement creates momentum. Product reveals became major events. Development updates created discussions across social media. Technology demonstrations generated headlines across the world. Tesla learned years ago that attention itself becomes part of competitive advantage. Mat Armstrong created attention differently, but the outcome produced similarities impossible to ignore. Viewers trusted him because success inside his videos never looked effortless. Problems appeared constantly. Unexpected failures happened regularly. Expensive repairs created pressure. Difficult moments remained visible instead of disappearing through editing. That honesty built loyalty. People followed projects because they felt real. Tesla understands modern audiences value authenticity more than polished corporate messaging. That understanding explains why so many automotive fans immediately became interested when reports connected Tesla with Mat Armstrong and the future Roadster program. The Roadster itself carries enormous expectations. For years, people discussed promised performance figures. Incredible acceleration numbers attracted attention immediately. Extraordinary range targets generated excitement. Technology connected to SpaceX increased curiosity even further. The Roadster represented Tesla, attempting something ambitious once again. Not simply building another electric vehicle. Building a machine capable of competing directly against some of the most respected performance vehicles ever created. Traditional automotive manufacturers spent decades building prestige around performance engineering. Ferrari built prestige through racing history. Bugatti built prestige through engineering excellence and exclusivity. Lamborghini built prestige through dramatic design and emotional experiences. Tesla approached the industry differently. Technology became identity. Innovation became image. Disruption became culture. Mat Armstrong's automotive career reflected similar principles. He built influence by challenging expectations repeatedly. Damaged vehicles became opportunities instead of problems. Difficult repairs became educational experiences instead of limitations. Massive technical obstacles became content audiences wanted to follow closely. That overlap between Tesla and Mat Armstrong explains why so many enthusiasts believed a partnership could make sense strategically. Tesla benefits from trust. Mat Armstrong built trust. Tesla benefits from transparency around technology. Mat Armstrong specializes in showing complicated mechanical processes clearly for audiences. Tesla benefits from passionate automotive communities, discussing products naturally rather than through traditional advertising alone. Mat Armstrong built exactly that kind of community over years of consistent work. Modern automotive companies increasingly understand creators' influence buying decisions, brand perception, and cultural relevance in ways traditional advertising alone cannot achieve. One respected voice often matters more than expensive campaigns. Mat Armstrong became one of automotive YouTube's strongest voices because viewers believe what they watch. That credibility carries enormous value. Tesla understands credibility matters. Innovation matters. Community matters. Whether reports surrounding greater collaboration become reality or evolve differently over time, one thing already feels increasingly clear. Automotive culture continues changing rapidly. Independent creators hold greater influence than ever before. Manufacturers adapt accordingly. Tesla recognized changing media dynamics